येनाक्षरसमाम्नायम् अधिगम्य महेश्वरात् कृत्स्नं व्याकरणं प्रोक्तं तस्मै पाणिनये नमः। वाक्यकारं वररुचिं भाष्यकारं पतञ्जलिं पाणिनीं सूत्रकारं च प्रणतोऽस्मि मुनित्रयम्। तो हम लोग जिस प्रसंग को आज देख रहे हैं, the topic that we are trying to discuss is Sanskrit Vyakarana with some examples also coming in. That is the structure that was followed in Prarambhika Rachananuvada Kaumudi. We have finished that. We are now looking at Rachananuvada Kaumudi. Now, an interesting feature of Rachananuvada Kaumudi is that uh, it contains a lot of elements which are common to Rachananuvada Kaumudi, Prarambhika Rachananuvada Kaumudi. So you have both of these things coming in. And what is the common element? So the first 20, 21 lessons are all same. I mean, not all same. I mean, there would be some variations here and there. You would be introduced to a lot more sutras and so on. But roughly whatever you have learned is revised in the first 20 lessons. And as you would have seen, this particular text is double the size of uh, Prarambhika Rachananuvada Kaumudi. So we have 30 abhyasas in the Prarambhika. In the second installment, you have around 60 abhyasas. So, given these 60 abhyasas, and given that we we have seen what the style of Kapil Dev Dwivedi is, that is, he's looking at, he's introducing very easily some words, some grammar in each abhyasa. So, he will introduce some new words. He will also introduce their Shabda Rupas, Dhatu Rupas, and so on. And then he's also introducing some grammar rules. That's the structure, and then you are applying that in the abhyasa related to that particular learning. So that is his style, and he is following that here also. Now we will look at Abhyas 1. A lot of these things are actually common, and but I will still do it because I do feel that we cannot skip some of these teachings, because while there is a lot of repetition in the first 20 partas, there is still a lot that is new, as in terms of concepts and so on. He does introduce a few concepts which are new in the first 20 partas. The next 40 are very crucial. So whenever you talk about, say, how did the word Budh, or rather the dhatu, Budh dhatu, lead to the word Bodha, or Yuj dhatu lead to the word Yoga, and so on. Say, for example, if I say Shikshak and I will say Shikshika, how will that happen? What sutra leads to that? So all of these things, word construction basically is what we learned, and this is very crucial. This second part, if we master this second volume, we are good to go and study any basic Sanskrit text without any translation help and so on. You may need to refer to the dictionary to know about the meaning of a word, but apart from that, grammar wise you are good to go. So now let us start talking about Abhyasa 1. And so if you see, we have three words here. So if I will start reading now the ka shabdas. So it is saha tau te. So saha refers to what? Pulling, and you have tau te, which is dvivachanam and bahuvachanam. Now there are two other words. In Sanskrit we have the word bhavan and bhavati for aap. Like in Hindi we say aap kya kar rahe ho. So like that you say bhavan kim something like that. So or aap kya pad rahe ho. So you will say bhavan kim pathati and so on. Not pathasi, pathati. We have seen that for bhavat you will have to use the prathama purusha. Now there are some other words also. Ramah, Ishwarah. So you will see that there is some issue with the scan, and I would request you to look at your own Vyakarana text for that matter to rectify those issues. So it is not Ram, it is Ramah. It is because see, there is nothing called as Sa. Sa is not a valid Pratipadika. Valid Pratipadika is Tat. From that, if you take Pulling, Prathama Vibhakti Ekavachanam, that is Saha, not Sa. So automatically we see that Visargas have been left out here. So all of these are taken as Padas. Ramaha, Ishwaraha, Balakaha, Naraha, Now, in the same way, Ripaha, Vidyalayaha, Gramaha, Bhutaha, Pathaha. This is not Bhutaha, sorry. This is Bhavati, Pathati, Likhati, Asati, Gachati, Agachati. And then you have some avyayas, which is Atra, Iha. Iha is Yaha. So we do say something like this when we do an avahan of the devata. We say Iha Gacha, Iha Gacha. That is Iha Agacha. So we did a sandhi. We did a Savarna Dirgha sandhi over there. So Iha. It is what is Iha? It is Halanta. Ha mein Halanta plus A. That is Ha. So, and then you have Agacha, A. So, A and A are Savarna, and that leads to their Sandhi being the Dirgha of that Savarna, which is A itself. So, it becomes Iha Gacha, and we say Iha Tishta. So on. So, Iha Gacha comes from that. Now, Iha is Yaha, Yaha Aiye. So, you say like that to the Devata. You can say Atra also. Now, apart from that, you have Yatra, Tatra, Kutra, Kwa. Kwa means Kaha again. Kwa is the same as Putra. So if you say Ramaha Kutra Gachati, you can also say Ramaha Kwa Gachati. Both work. So it's not a problem, basically. Now they have given this thing, what these Ka, Kha, Ga, Gha mean. So Ka is for Sangya Shabda. So whenever you see a Ka written here, to understand that the Lekhaka is introducing some Sangya Shabdas or Sarvanam Shabdas also. Ka is for Dhatu ya Kriya Shabda. Ga is for Avyaya, as I said, and there is Gha which is not introduced in this Patha, which is Visheshana. Now, we have seen this part. 1 से 10 अर्थात 1 से 10 तक is saying. So chinha, that is, so whenever you see राम से विद्यालय, राम डैश विद्यालय, इट मीन्स दैट राम से लेके विद्यालय तक सारे रूप राम के ही तुल्य चलेंगे. Now if that is the case, then we can find out certain things. And see, he is already introducing some concepts. You see, you need to know a little bit about Kartrivachya and Karmavachya, which we had discussed in brief. We had discussed this in brief in the previous book. What is Kartrivachya and what is Karmavachya? So what happens in Kartrivachya and Karmavachya? In English, what is it called?
Kartrivachya is where the object is primary
Where the
and the doer karta. Uh, Sorry, where the doer is the primary, the karta,
yes, exactly.
and the karma vachya is where the object or the
Yeah,
thing being done is primary, and the
exactly,
doer is secondary.
exactly, correct. Now, in the same way, we have one more word which is very important for our understanding, and that is in English we have these terms called as active voice and passive voice, right?
Yes,
So we say that
yes.
Rama read the book, or we could have said the book was read by Rama. Now we say Ravanam Marayati. Ramena Ravanaha Hatah. Object is Ravana, Karta or the doer is Rama, but in
Hmm.
one case the Dhatu Rupa is using something. The dhatu rupa is using a tingant pratyaya. That is, it is working like in the ti tah anti format, marayati and so on, right? And the other thing is where the dhatu modifies and becomes a visheshana of the object. So Ramena Ravana Hatah. So Hatah or Mritah. So Mritah comes from Mridhatu, which is uh, to die. Now the idea is that or Ramena Ravana Hatah. Now over there, this particular dhatu takes the linga, vibhakti and vachana of object, which is Ravana. So that is Kartrivachya. Now there are two more terms. If you see here, we are having one term which is called as Lat Lakara, and then we have one more term called as Parasmai Pada. Now, what is this Lat Lakara and Parasmai Pada? So we see that in English we have present tense, past tense, future tense, then we have present continuous, past continuous, and so on, right? Now, in the same way in Sanskrit, we have these nice little terms. We have uh, the the Vartamana Kala, which is the Lat Lakara. All of these tenses, in English we have the word tense, in Sanskrit we have Lakara. Lat Lakara is basically the name for the Vartamana Kala. Now we have something called as Lang Lakara, which is for anything which happened prior to today, like yesterday, day before yesterday, 5 years ago, 20, 30, 50, 100, 200 years ago as well. But if you really want to convey that sense of ancientness, it was very ancient. This ghatana happened long back, thousands of years back. Then there is one more option. You can use lang lakara there also, because what does lang lakara means? It means anadyatana bhutakal. What is anadyatana bhutakal? Anadyatana bhutakal is this. We write here. Anadya anadya tana bhutkal. So anadyatana. So pardon my handwriting. Anadyatana bhutkal. So anadya is na adya. Aaj nahi. So that whatever happens prior to yesterday, prior to today, as I said, yesterday, day before yesterday, and so on. So that means that it can be used for very ancient things also. We see that kind of use also where lang lakara is used in the Sahitya. But one option is being given to you. The option is you can use this lit lakara, which is ancient tense or the aparokshatana bhutakal, which is very ancient basically. Now you have one second, I need to charge my laptop. So Ramah, Ramau, Ramaha. As I said, there are issues here with the scan. Ramah, Ramau, Ramaha. This is actually I should not do this. This is wrong. As I said once, I guess we don't put something like a dot like this in. Oh no, I think this is actually fine. We can do this. We can put this, or still, if we want to keep it closer to the type, then I would go with this option. But as I said, that if it's a visarga, so it's a philosophical thing, which is basically that you have a bindu, and from then you have a visarga. This is the notation generally used. This is again philosophy, but not Vyakarana as such. So you can use, use this one basically. more standard notation. The dot.
Can I ask what is exactly the philosophical underpinning behind this?
Yeah, so basically, what is being denoted here is this is coming from again from Vyakarana based cosmology, or rather even Agama or Tantra based cosmology. So they say that in the beginning there was Brahman, obviously nothing else apart from Brahman, but there was a spandana that happened. There was a vibration. This is again Kashmir Shaivism. So they say that there was a vibration. What is this vibration? The initial tendency to create something. Now that led to this thing where the one becomes two first, and then it starts multiplying, so on and so forth. So bindu, we call it as bindu. There's a term for it, bindu. And then this becomes visarga. These are terms in Vyakarana and Agama also. So then bindu becomes visarga, and this basically signifies one entity, and this signifies two entities. Now, just to not confuse people, just to make sure that we don't understand Visarga as collection of two bindus, Visarga is generally denoted as just a small circle, rather, a couple of small circles, basically. Now, idea over here is simple, that whenever this pandana happens, Srishti, which is in the form of a bija, a bindu, then starts multiplying. So we know we generally count from 1 to 2 and 3 and 4, right? Like that. So 1 becomes 2. It's not like it is becoming Nara Nari and all that. We are not going into that kind of a thing. But Bindu finally becomes Visarga. So now Srishti, which was in the form of a very subtle entity, like say a Big Bang kind of a thing. I'm not saying it is an explanation for modern cosmology in science, but I'm just saying that there's a parallel. Parallel is this, that you have a very subtle Srishti, just because Brahman itself is becoming Srishti. So just one small entity which is unmanifest, or now it has gradually started manifest, but it's still one. It is still appearing as one. Then it starts multiplying. So that first stage of multiplication, where it becomes more, or rather more than multiplication, it becomes more manifest into many, is what is called as Visarga, and so on. So it goes on till Mahat Tattva, Akasha, and then five Bhutas and all that. So, okay. Now, that being said, let me come back again to this Ramaha Ramau Ramaha. Now, this is Karta, we know, and this is Karma Karaka. That is Ramam Ramau. Again, this is wrong. Ramau, because there is a scanning issue. Ramau Raman. So Ramaha Ramau Ramaha Ramam Ramau Raman. Now, they have talked about only these two right now. So they are saying that Ram se leke Vidyalay tak सबके रूप समान चलेंगे. So for विद्यालय you will do it as विद्यालयः विद्यालयौ विद्यालयाः. अत्र बहवः विद्यालयाः सन्ति. That is, there are अत्र, here there are many विद्यालयास. अस्मिन् ग्रामे, in this grama, in this village, एक एकः विद्यालयः वर्तते. There is only one vidyalaya in this grama, and so on. So we are seeing this. Then again we come to bhavati, bhavatah, bhavanti, which is coming from ati, yatah, anti, or so basically we can do the same for gachati, gachatah, gachanti, agachati, agachatah, agachanti, and so on. So we know this thing. Now, what is happening here? Uh, for this is a rule for कर्तृवाच्य, कर्ता के अनुसार क्रिया का वचन और पुरुष होता है. So if karta is Rama, and then I am saying Rama is karta, then I am referring to this Rama as a third person. So then I have to use Prathama Purusha, which is Pathati, Hasati, Likhati, and so on. So Rama Hasati, like that. Now, if it is Ramaha, then it will become Hasanti. Bhavat. भवत शब्द के साथ सदा प्रथम पुरुष आता है, as I said at the beginning of the class. So it is never like, so whenever I am talking, so we had this shabda, right, yushmad, and yushmad was tvam yuvam yuyam. So if I say tvam, so I can ask kim tvam pathasi, that is madhyama purusha. But if I'm using bhavan, if I'm giving more respect to the other person, I will use bhavan. So I will say kim bhavan pathati, kim bhavan patati. If I say kim bhavan patati, then it becomes uh, prathama purusha for bhavat. Now that is what we are supposed to do for bhavat only, not for any other word. Now we are saying तीनों लिंगों में धातु का रूप वही रहता है. So धातु does not change according to linga unless we are working with with karma vachya. So that is one thing. Now कर्ता में प्रथमा आती है और कर्म में द्वितीय आती है, which is fine. Now the other thing is that they are saying is बिना प्रत्यय लगाए शब्द या धातु का प्रयोग न करें. So if you say simply like this, if you just say narah, if you don't say narah, if you say nar pathati, it is not right, because what is nara is a pratipadika, the mool shabda. It is just pratipadika. Now, the moment it gets a set of pratyaya, which are called as the supratyayas, we have not seen, we will see that in Laghu Siddhanta Kaumudi. Nara plus su, in fact, it will become naraha. So, naraha now has become pada. And how do we define a pada? Pada is defined as suptingantam padam. That is, the pada should have a supratyaya, which is for Shabda Rupas, or Ting Pratyayas, which are used to generate Dhatu Rupas. So Dhatu is Pat plus Tip. If I use, then that becomes Pathati. Then that is a Pada. So they are saying बिना प्रत्यय लगाए शब्द या धातु का प्रयोग ना करे. अपदम न प्रयुंजीत. व्हाट इज अपदम न पदम? जो पद नहीं है. पद कौन है? जिसमें सुप या तिंग प्रत्ययों का प्रयोग होता है. और अगर सुप या तिंग प्रत्यय नहीं है तो वहां पे क्या होगा? वो अपद बन जाएगा. इट इज अ नॉन पदा. नाउ एक अर्थ वाले पर्यायवाची शब्दों में से एक शब्द का ही प्रयोग करें. एक अर्थ वाले पर्यायवाची शब्दों में से एक शब्द का ही प्रयोग करें. एज इन इफ देर आर मल्टीपल वर्ड्स लाइक से in the meanwhile, let me just check if somebody has joined. No, it's fine. Nobody has joined. So, where was I? Yeah. So, एक अर्थ वाले पर्यायवाची शब्दों में से एक का ही प्रयोग करें. So, if you are saying त्वम कुत्र तिष्ठसि, तुम कहां बैठे हुए हो? त्वम कुत्र तिष्ठसि. Now, if you say kutra, then that's fine. You don't need to use its paryayavachi, which is say kwa. You don't need to say kwa. Tvam kutra kwa patishtasi. You need to say that. Either you say kwa or you say kutra, because both are paryayavachi. Now, we are moving to abhyasa, the boring part of it. So, Divakar ji, you can try these two. One and two.
वह लिखता है. दिस वुड बी सह लिखति.
Hmm.
वह गांव को जाता है. सह ग्रामम गच्छति.
Hmm. Yes. Correct. Now, let me do one. Ramah Vidyalayam Gachati. This is aap. So you cannot use tvam. You have to use bhavan.
Bhavan.
Bhavan or bhavati, whatever you want, depends. Now, whatever you use, the dhatu rupa will not have an effect because dhatu rupa is not dependent on the linga. So, bhavan or bhavati, tatra, vaha is tatra, vaha, tatra, gachati. Or if it was tvam, it would have become, if it was tum wahan jate ho, then it would become त्वम तत्र
Gachati.
गच्छति.
Gachati.
वह मनुष्य कहाँ जाता है. दिस इज यू कुड हैव यूज्ड सह मनुष्य कुत्र
Hmm.
अथवा क्व गच्छति.
One.
दैट इज ऑल. सो दिस इज वेरी सिंपल. नाउ दिस इज वे दोनों हंसते हैं. अनदर इज कमिंग. वे दोनों, वे दो. नाउ अ न्यू वर्ड हैज कम, टू. अब दोनों के लिए यहाँ पे कोई वर्ड नहीं दिया हुआ है. सो हाउ विल वी डू दिस. दोनों के लिए we cannot use dwau and all that here. I mean we can, but in the lesson they want us to do something else. They want us to use
Yes.
some word which is already given in the lesson.
Yes.
What
Te
is that?
tau.
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 Tau hasatah. Hasati
Hmm.
hasatah. So tau hasatah. And similarly tau putra gachatah and all that. So okay, now we are kind of ऑलरेडी देयर. सब बालक विद्यालय को जा रहे हैं. बालकाः विद्यालयं गच्छन्ति. So we are done with this part. Now Ashuddha Vakya. Ashuddha Vakya, what is the Ashuddha Vakya here? So Ramah Vidyalaya Gacchati. If you say Vidyalaya, then that's wrong because it is a violation of the rule. Rule is Vidyalaya is Pratipadika. So you cannot say Vidyalaya. You have to use some pratyaya or some vibhakti you have to use. Because Rama
Hmm.
is karta, so this will become karma karaka, and therefore dvitiya vibhakti. It will become vidyalayam. And so you have to put this thing, vidyalayam, dot here. Similarly, bhavan tatra gachanti, bhavan tatra gachanti nahi hoga, it will gachati. So because it's ekavachanam and all that. So शुद्ध करो तथा नियम बताओ. You can do that later, but this is the practice for these portions. So this is what we need to practice in the meanwhile. As in uh, दो के वाक्यों को द्विवचन और बहुवचन में बनाओ and so on. So this is easy. Uh, okay. Now uh, what else? Now there is not much to discuss. I mean, I will move in the usual pace. That is, we will have uh, uh, only one abhyasa in a single class. This is simple, so there is not much to discuss. So I will probably stop the recording here. येनाक्षर समाम्नायम् अधिगम्य महेश्वरात् कृत्स्नं व्याकरणं प्रोक्तं तस्मै पाणिनये नमः. भाष्यकारं वररुचिं भाष्यकारं पतञ्जलिं पाणिनीं सूत्रकारं च प्रणतोऽस्मि मुनित्रयं. श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः.